Hello there. Welcome to Speaking of Business. I'm your host, Nancy Boyle. We've got some exciting events coming up after the first of the year. So whether you want to start a business or whether you have a business and want to grow your business, we've got a couple of items that you're going to want to pay close attention to. Joining me on the first half of the show are Rick Baylog with Baylog and Tambury CPAs and Jamie Dockster with Waddell & Reed. So welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you, Nancy.
So Rick, I'll start with you. Tell us a little bit about you and Baylog and Tambury.
Well, we're a regional CPA firm. We have offices throughout the Southeast. We specialize in small business startups, businesses in distress, along with the full-service CPA services that we provide. We've been in Jacksonville since 1988.
Great. Jamie, tell us a little bit about you.
I'm a financial planner with Waddell & Reed. We're based in Kansas City. We're owned by a mutual fund company, Waddell & Reed, but I specifically do financial planning for small business owners and their families, helping with strategic planning, helping with getting them where they want to go when they want to be there.
Okay, and you are both members of the Small Business Resource Network. So, Jamie, why don't you tell me a little bit about what is the Small Business Resource Network?
Well, it's an organization that has attorneys, CPAs, bankers, financial planners, insurance agents, and just about anything that a small business owner would need to either start up or to expand their business. Okay,
and both of you are involved in the event that we're here to talk about, coming up in February, and called Breakfast with the Experts. So, Rick, why don't you start telling us a little bit about that?
Well, Breakfast with the Experts is rapidly becoming a hallmark event for SPRN. Years ago at a committee meeting, I opened up my mouth and said, we ought to do something to showcase the expertise of SPRN and help small businesses, and Breakfast with the Experts was the event that was born out of that initiative. And it's an opportunity for anybody with a business or anybody thinking about starting a business to interface with CPAs, attorneys, bankers, whatever the sessions are providing for that period of time for a very low cost to get their questions answered. And it's a way that we provide service back to the community that we serve.
Okay. Jamie, tell us a little bit about how the agenda, how the event works, what all is involved.
Well, business owners come for breakfast, and we have a panel discussion to start with, and then we break out into individual tables based upon the expertise of the members, such as insurance or taxes or lending or whatever their needs might be, and they get a chance to talk one-on-one with members of the SPRN about how we might be able to answer their questions, how we might be able to serve them. Then if they want to take it further, they can set up an individual appointment and deal with their own specific situation.
Which is, it's kind of a unique event in that, you know, if I want to go and ask a question to a CPA and I go to your office, I'm going to probably pay some nice hourly wage for that. Whereas I can go to this event, pay a minimal amount of money. What's the registration fee?
I think it's $25.
$25, which includes breakfast. So I can go for my $25, have breakfast, get a lot of information, and then actually sit down with individual professionals and get my questions answered.
It's a deal of the century.
Okay. Jamie, you've got some sponsors for the event.
Yes, well, actually we have Rick Baylog. His firm is sponsoring the entire event, and then we have Ellen Bushnell with Bushnell and Company CPAs are sponsoring the breakfast. Waddell & Reed is also sponsoring the coffee for the individual events, and I'm sure there'll be others that will join in.
Well, and Rick, as the lead sponsor on this, why don't you talk a little bit about why you're sponsoring this? Because you've always been very committed to this event, and just kind of give our audience a sense of what's sort of motivating you to do that.
Our firm has always been very supportive of new business and startups, and it seems that many entrepreneurs are fearful of going to a CPA firm and asking questions and paying the fees. And we thought that since since we generate a fair amount of our revenue with startups and with new business structures, that we ought to provide some support back to the community and provide that. So we talked to our partners, and we're wholeheartedly 100% behind this whole Breakfast of the Expert series.
Well,
We're committed to it.
I think it's important for our audience to understand that this is educational, it's informative. This is not going to be some big sales pitch.
It's not a sales pitch.
You know, I mean, it's definitely got some meat to the content of the event.
And that was one of the things we talked about when we talked to other professionals that are going to sponsor tables and be there, that they're not there to sell their services. They're there to ask a question. If the individual would like to provide opportunity for a follow-up consultation, follow-up meeting, well then fine, and that's of course why we're there as well. But the main focus is to provide assistance, to provide real answers to real questions. And this year and next year are going to be difficult years for small business. So this is a great opportunity for anybody that pays taxes or owns a business.
Mm-hmm. And now, Jamie, this is going to be done quarterly?
It's going to be done quarterly. The first one is starting in early February, and each one will have a different topic. And you know, with the new tax legislation that is going to come down, a lot of small business owners are going to have plenty of questions that need answers. So the first one will focus on the tax ramifications.
Well, and Rick, I want to come back to you as our CPA. Mm-hmm. Right now, today, in this moment of time, there have been no decisions in Washington. So if they continue to bicker and fight and get nothing done, then the laws will be this. If, in fact, they do accomplish something, which would be, you know, a miracle of all miracles, then things will change. So by holding this event in early February, I think the thinking is, and correct me if I'm wrong here, is that we should know something. And so to ease that uncertainty of business owners, this information is being presented then so that they can start their year off effectively.
Exactly.
Am I right on that?
Yes. Yeah. By early February, we should have a really good understanding of what the new tax laws are going to be for both personal and business. If not, a lot of people are finding a lot of extensions.
Well, and the changes in the law are going to impact a lot of different things. Could be what deductions you might get now, or you might not get later, or you might get later. It's the rates. It's
right. The capital gain structure is changing. The rates are changing. Deductions are changing. The tax impact on gifts and inheritance and everything. It's all up in the air right now, and it's a very unsettling time.
Okay, so it sounds like it's the perfect time to be able to disseminate this information, to get the information from the experts who are experts in accounting and tax, right there in one room.
We have a great group of CPAs associated with SBRN that will be there to help people.
Okay, so Jimmy, let me get some more details from you. I know we don't have a date. This is more about sort of whetting the appetite, if you will, for our audience. So we know it's going to be early February, but can you give us a little more information as to where it's going to be and perhaps time of day?
Well, it's going to be breakfast, of course. So we'll start at 8 o'clock in the morning and probably go until around 11. It's going to be at the University of North Florida. It'll be in the
Herbert University Center.
Yes, the new name.
They just renamed the building.
They just renamed the building, the Herbert University Center.
Yeah.
It'll be, right now we're kind of looking at this as being a save the date right now.
Okay.
Get the word out, and then we'll go from there. We'll get invitations and flyers out to the majority of small business in the Jacksonville market.
Okay. And if somebody wants more information, is there a phone number or?
Yes, it's 630-2749.
Okay, no, 620-2489.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess
620-2489.
All right, you think I have it on speed dial?
I think you have the city's main number down there with 630. Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you for being here with us. I know it's going to be a successful event, and we'll talk more after the first of the year.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Very good. Thanks for having us.
Don't go away because we've got more events coming up. We'll be right back.
Thanks for calling the GED Pep Talk Center. Jerry Stiller speaking. Your level 7 in your face pep talk. I can keep pushing you. Believe me, I'm good at it. But at some point, you're gonna need to start pushing yourself.
See, once you've got your GED diploma, you'll feel so good about yourself.
You tell them. You can't change your past, but you can definitely change your future.
That makes me so happy, I'm ready to bust out a dance.
Mr. Trejo, can I transfer this guy to you? My gentle technique isn't really working. You need something a little more...
Persuasive?
Yes.
You listen, and you listen good.
Hey, where's my sandwich? Terry? Terry!
Take it from me, the King DMC. It's a real cool thing to get your GED.
Get that diploma!
Now hold on and we'll find you free GED classes. Capiche?
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
Welcome back to Speaking of Business. Again, I'm your host, Nancy Boyle. Now, what we're going to talk about next is for those of you out there who want to start a business, okay? Joining me are Yash Nath with iStart Jacksonville, Jonathan Beckham with When I Arrive, Inc., and Daniel Fanger with iStart Jax. Okay, I got all discombobulated there, Jonathan. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
So, Yash, I'm going to start with you because you are with iStart Jax, the organization that is putting together this startup weekend.
That is
correct?
Yes.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself as well as iStart Jax?
Sure. Thank you, Nancy. I am director at iStart Jax, been there since inception. We are a year-old company. We just celebrated our anniversary recently, along with the Global Entrepreneurship Week. And we are very proud and very happy to bring this flagship program called Jacksonville Startup Weekend. This is an intense 54-hour program which we bring in where participants, technical, non-technical background, they get a platform where they can come and share or pitch their ideas, and then they get voted, and then eventually they end up forming teams and work through the business models. They do customer validation. So in a sense, it is all about action. It's about innovation, and at the end of it, there is a panel of judges who rate them, and then essentially the whole experience is phenomenal.
Okay, and Jonathan.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, but I want to focus on you in a little bit, okay?
Sure. My background is in software development and computer science. So I'm a Florida native. I graduated from the University of Florida. And I've worked for a number of technology companies, both in and out of town here in Jacksonville, including Nortel Networks and America Online. And I had the opportunity last year to attend the event, the inaugural one here in Jacksonville, and actually get together with a group of people and actually form a company which was out of this event last year. So When I Arrive and WhenIArrive.com, we've started and over the past 9 to 12 months have really grown our corporation from this startup event. And so that's a little bit about me and my company.
Good. And I want to talk about the weekend first, but then I want to focus in on
absolutely.
your experience, because I'm sure there are people out there in the audience who were like you were maybe a year or so ago wanting to start a business and just not quite sure how to pull this all off.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Great.
So Daniel, with iStart Jax as well as other things, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm actually a Jacksonville native here and local, and I've grown up in the area, went to school here, just recently completed my MBA in finance, and I have some experience from institutional investments as well as smaller family office investing. And so I recently was joining Jackstart as a director, and I'm just here to basically help with the relationships with growing the business from not just the entrepreneur's perspective, but more from the finance and management and legal compliance. So trying to help them make sure that we have those avenues prepared for them.
Which is critically important.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, if you don't manage your finances well, you don't have a business for very long.
Mm-hmm.
So, Yash, I want to come back to you. Let's sort of walk our audience through this process, because it's an intensive process.
Right, yes.
And 54 hours in total, correct?
That is correct.
So just kind of give us an overview of, okay, I want to start a business and I'm going to show up.
Okay.
Okay.
So essentially, the first step is to make sure that everyone registers, and we'll share the details for that. But once you have registered, it starts on a Friday evening at around 6 o'clock, where everyone kind of they pitch their ideas. Once the ideas are pitched, then among the participants, they get a chance to vote for the ideas, and that helps to consolidate and pick. Let's say, like for the last time we did it, there were around 50 ideas, around 17 got selected to go to the next round. So similar pattern will happen this year too, that we'll select the top X number. Once that is done, then teams are formed. So among the participants, as people are pitching it, they get a chance. So if someone pitches an idea, that they get a chance to try and convince other participants to be part of their team. So it's about networking, it's about selling your idea among the participants who are available. Once that is done, once the team is formed, then they go back into the huddle and start refining the business ideas, working on the business model, coming up with a prototype. That is one of the essential criteria for selection. And during all this process, they are building a prototype. They are also doing customer validation. At the end of it, they are supposed to provide a presentation on Sunday. So all of this happens between Friday evening, goes on Saturday, where they get to meet mentors, getting feedback, tweaking their ideas. And then eventually on Sunday at around 6:30 or so, they get a chance to present their idea in front of a panel of judges who are entrepreneurs or leaders in the industry. And then there are selection criteria. So once they do that, then essentially after that, they can, and there are tangible and intangible benefits which can be provided.
Okay. Jonathan.
Yes.
Walking into, Yash, where is the event taking place?
So the event will be at UNF Student Union Building from Jan 25th to 27th.
Okay, so it's the weekend of January 25th, 27th at UNF Student Union Building.
Correct.
Okay, Jonathan.
Sure.
It's 5 o'clock on Friday. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking, gosh, I got to get up in front of 150 people and pitch an idea to them and try to convince them that my idea is better than all of these other 50 or 60 other pitches that are coming up there. So as Yash had mentioned, it's a pretty intense weekend, 54 hours. So you get up in front of these 150 people and you try to convince your entire business idea and concept that you have into a very short timeline. You have, I think it's about 2 minutes to pitch your idea. And so you get up there, you pitch it, and everybody that pitches, of those 50 people, gets a big board, and it's basically crowdsourced, right? Crowd voted upon. So those people get up, they pitch it, they get their board, and everybody in the audience gets a sticker, and they go up there and they say, I like this one, I like this one, I like this one. And so you're recruiting people to vote for you, for your idea, for your concept. And also, one of the things I can speak to as well is, if you are one of the lucky ones who gets into that 15 or 17 winners of the first round, you really have to focus on trying to recruit the people that you need to make your business a success. As I mentioned before, my background's in software development, so maybe I don't need somebody in software development to help me. Maybe I need a graphic artist or a business strategist or a marketing person. So after you are in that second round, the fun is just beginning, as they say, right? You're trying to get those people that you need to help facilitate and grow this idea and this concept into ultimately on Sunday night pitching to the judges and providing a pitch deck or a prototype or a demo for it.
Well, tell us about When I Arrive.
Well, When I Arrive was, again, started from last year from the iStart Jackson, the Jacksonville Startup Weekend. And we started out with a pitch that was essentially using geofencing, which is basically using mobile phones to create an action, to have something occur when you arrive somewhere, when you cross an invisible fence around a location. Okay. And so the idea that I pitched last year was to automate and send text messages. When I arrive at a certain location, I use the example of I used to travel a lot. Let my wife know that I've arrived here, okay? So, so that she knows that I'm here. But one of the great things about this Startup Weekend is as you grow and you get other people and you recruit these people to help you, often cases, as it is in business and traditional ones, your idea pivots. It changes a little bit. Maybe you switch it somehow. Maybe that concept and that business has already been fleshed out. And so not only during the event, but since the event, we've pivoted. And one of the things that I can't stress enough in terms of the importance of this event and the benefits that it provides is the networking and the resources that they provide, the mentors that are there, to help you. And so that's transcended and helped us to grow when I arrived and pivot yet again into a company that we're trying to transform customer service relationships using this technology. So.
Excellent. Sounds exciting.
Thank you. Yeah, we're very excited.
Daniel, tell us a little bit about the mentors. You know, where are you getting your mentors from? How are they mentoring? That kind of thing.
Well, the reason why iStart Jax is so relatively new is because there really weren't quite so many resources available that were just easily accessible for entrepreneurs. And so the first thing entrepreneurs really direly need is a mentor, because it's usually uncharted territory, it's quite risky, and you're going off to an adventure that no one's done before. But there's a lot of people that have been in that situation before, and that's what we try to focus on, is the experience of people that have started businesses or that specialize in helping a business grow and those type of aspects. So our mentors are usually sourced from the local area, or they're very active or committed to the area, because that's one of the main things that we wanted as a foundation of iStart, was to build the community and to be involved in the community, not just people that come in and leave as they come. So basically the mentors will be experienced in the area, they'll know the same people, they'll have good connections and network abilities for you to grow your business, as well as the actual hands-on experience of growing a business.
Okay. And Yash, I know that iStart Jax is an entity who is really the lead entity on this, but do you have other organizations that you're working with, other sponsors?
Yes, so we do have, the way it works is we are partnering with a lot of, SBDC is one of them. We do have partner sponsorship from Jax Sports, from Advantage Magazine. All of the local chambers are our partners for this event. And we are continuously working with the other additional partners we can add on. Startup Florida is another one which is helping us to drive this to the next level. As well as we are also, that's on the sponsorship, but we are also reaching out to business entities who can gain from this phenomenal experience which we are providing, either in sponsoring and working with the community or in encouraging folks.
Well, I know some of our business analysts at the SBDC have participated in the event, and it's very gratifying to them to be able to see the results that happen overnight, literally, because this is, when you say 54 hours, Jonathan, you did not go home for 54 hours, right?
Yeah, I went home for a few hours to sleep at night, but yes, I mean.
But for the most part, people are there from 6 o'clock on Friday night all the way through Friday night, Saturday night until Sunday when they make the presentations, right?
That is correct, yes. So, yeah, I mean, pretty much, you know, what we saw was, we saw people who are not willing to leave because they were like, no, we need to get it right. And it was a very good experience, not just from us hosting it, but from leveraging and understanding the needs, and we can refine it and make it better for them.
Okay. Now, is there a fee to participate?
We do have. So, in fact, right now we are running an early bird fee, so it's $75, which expires on December 26th. So, I encourage everyone on the fence to take advantage. We do have discounts for students. The keyword is student for them, as well as we are reaching out to our veterans. So, the keyword for them is veteran. It's $60 for veterans, $50 for students, $75 early bird fee, and after that it will roll back to $99. So urge everyone on the fence, take advantage of the early bird fee.
Okay, and I think there's a preliminary event. Daniel, you want to talk about that?
And yeah, this is actually a really important aspect. We have the Startup Weekend pre-event at the Southeast Library on December 8th, and it's from 2 to 4 p.m. And this event is really important because it'll give you a clearer understanding of what you need to have in mind going into this, because once you show up, you don't want to start planning at that point. It's going to be, we want to use the most efficient use of your time, so it's important to attend this pre-event so you can get a good understanding, a good plan, and speak with some of the people such as Jonathan, who's gone through it, that can give you valuable insight to make you, excel and build upon what the previous entrepreneurs have performed.
Okay, so the first step is to go December 8th to the Southeast Library, 2 o'clock, I'm sorry, did you say?
2 to 4
2 to 4. Okay, and then the next step is certainly to register for the event, take advantage of the reduced rate of $75, even at $99, Jonathan, I'm sure you would admit $99 is such a infinitesimal investment to start a business. It's kind of crazy.
Right.
And then attend the event on the 25th to the 27th.
Right. Just to add on to it, again, the fee just for participation, just want to reiterate that we are going to provide breakfast, lunch, and dinner during the entire duration, along with continued beverage. So I just want to state that the fee which we are requesting here is not going to cover that, and the sponsorship which we are going to get, right? So I want people to take advantage of this unique opportunity we have in Northeast Florida.
There'll be plenty of coffee. So.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure. Jonathan, maybe you can talk to that, because, you know, when you get excited, the adrenaline goes. But at some point, after a certain number of hours, you got to start hitting the wall a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, with the caffeinated beverages flowing and the number of people that are there, just the sheer excitement and the enjoyment and all the different resources and mentors that are there to encourage you and to keep you going is helpful. I know that they also have sort of these check-in times throughout Saturday, where you kind of do a gut check and say, how far are we along in getting our you know, prototype or our pitch together and that sort of thing. And so not only caffeinated beverages, but the mentors and the other people encouraging you to continue on help.
Okay. Now, Daniel, because you mentioned earlier about the whole financial management type of stuff. Okay, Jonathan's gone through this weekend in January. Now he's, as he said, pivoted a little bit in the idea. Is there any kind of ongoing thing that iStart Jax is doing for, okay, it's Sunday, I won, yikes, now what do I do?
Well, certainly we have a lot of community partners that we work with, and we actually have a lot of them that are willing to donate a lot of in-kind services that will help get them started. And iStart Jax would like to be involved in each step of the way of the business life cycle for the entrepreneur. So we'll definitely be there to support them from start to finish as well. Okay. One of my main roles is to help source funds for growing firms for each stage of the business cycle as well. So if we can help them secure the funding and take care of some of the more complex financial obligations, then hopefully we can help them focus on their specialization or their niche to grow.
Well, and I think that's really important, because as Jonathan mentioned, he has experience in software development. And most people know how to make the widget, if you will. And they either have maybe some expertise in marketing or selling, but we have found that the area that they have the least expertise in is the financial management aspect of it, which is so crucial.
Exactly.
So crucial.
Just to add on to what Daniel just shared, from iStart perspective, we did hold several workshops to add on to. So what happens after is we held several workshops revolving around how to create business plans, around financial, and I know Daniel talked about that, legal aspects of it like intellectual property. I know that keeps coming up during all of these pre-events. So we continue to evolve. We are taking the feedback and we are adding more and more to the curriculum to offer to the participants.
Now, people out there are going, how do I find out more? So, is there a phone number or a website that people can go to?
Yes, we do have. So I think the first thing which we need to do is to sign up. So for that, it's jacksonville.startupweekend.org. For a way to communicate to us is, again, email is info@istartjax.com. So those are two avenues you can reach us. And we will be there. We also have a social media presence, so we are available on Twitter, on Facebook. So definitely encourage people to reach out to us using any of the avenues available.
Okay, great. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here. I know it's going to be a great weekend. But before we go, there's another event that I want to mention, and this is geared for women veterans. It is called VWise. It is happening in January, the 10th through the 12th. It's a conference being held here in Jacksonville for women veterans or the spouses of veterans who want to start a business. So if you fall into that category and you're interested in this,